Welcome to the 11th edition of The Closest They Came, a series where we take a look back on the days when drivers, winless at NASCAR's highest level, came painfully close to etching their names into the history books. Today we'll be looking back on Wally Dallenbach Jr.'s race in the 1995 Bud at the Glen. Prior to making his NASCAR debut, Dallenbach began his career in road racing, earning Rookie of the Year in 1984 in the SCCA Trans Am Series at the age of 21. He would become the youngest champion in the history of the series in 1985 and followed that up with a second title in 1986. Dallenbach then found success in IMSA, claiming class victories in the 24 Hours at Daytona 4 times and the 12 Hours of Sebring 3 times. He made his first NASCAR start in 1991 driving for Junie Donlavey at Atlanta Motor Speedway, later running 2 full seasons for his IMSA car owner Jack Roush, who expanded to a second team for the first time. By the time August of 1995 rolled around, Dallenbach had earned 3 top 5 and 8 top 10 finishes in the Cup Series, including a second-place run to Mark Martin at Watkins Glen in 1993. Making a one-off start for Bill Davis Racing, who began using a revolving door of drivers in 1995 after firing Randy LaJoie, he would qualify 12th after averaging 119.163 miles per hour on his timed lap. He would steadily move forward on the first run, moving up to 10th within the first 2 laps.
And who's going to get the jump in turn 1?
They're going to fan out. Mark Martin on the inside, Bill Elliott on the outside.
There side by side. And here we go.
All single file, Bob, as they pass through here again. Gordon looking perhaps to the inside of Rusty, but backs off that time. Chases Ricky Craven.
Rudd has 5 road course victories, 2 at Riverside, 2 at Watkins Glen, and 1 at Sears Point.
There we saw Wally Dallenbach take Kyle Petty going into the inner loop.
Here's a guy that would like to come off with a very good performance here at Watkins Glen. He doesn't have anything specifically lined up. We're talking about Wally Dallenbach for 1996. He says he has a few possibilities, but a good showing here could very well get him a good solid effort for 1996.
We saw that Wally Dallenbach has moved up to 8th position from his 12th starting position. So his road racing experience paying off for him here as we continue down through the field.
Dale Earnhardt just got past Michael Waltrip, and he and Wally Dallenbach both picked up a position. Dallenbach the last lap through here, and Dale Earnhardt just now picking up a position, passing past Michael Waltrip.
Actually took an air chisel and sliced both of the front fenders on the Goodwin Chevrolet Open and pulled them back in about 1.5 inches. They said they had too much fender flare. The car was getting loose going into corners. He thought the fender flare would help him, as now Dallenbach makes his way by Bill Elliott to the Pontiac, making a move past the Ford Thunderbird.
Entering the top 5 for the first time on lap 24.
You can see in the middle of this pack, Wally Dallenbach just coming through turn 1 a moment ago. He got around Ricky Rudd, and Dallenbach in the MBNA Pontiac has climbed into 5th position after starting 12th. Dorsey, there he goes.
Yeah, he's been working real hard through the inner loop here under braking, trying to get that move done, but gets it done in turn 1, and he is on the move. Remember, Wally's best finish in NASCAR was here.
He would cycle back to 6th during the first pit sequence.
First scheduled stop, however.
A few laps later, he would get around Ricky Rudd to re-enter the top 5. He would continue to surge forward, getting around Terry Labonte and then passing Jeff Gordon on lap 42 to enter the top 3 on lap 42.
And pretty soon there's going to be a battle for 3rd. Wally Dallenbach is really closing up on the DuPont Chevrolet of Jeff Gordon. They're exiting turn 2, heading up through the S's, and that MBNA Pontiac is climbing right in behind Jeff Gordon, Dorsey.
Yes, he is indeed. You know, Wally's been real smooth. You got to watch him. I think guys have kind of forgotten about Wally being out there. They're not accustomed to the car being right up there, and he's sneaking it right up into the top 3 right now.
Is he going to make a move there, Dorsey?
Yeah, indeed he is. As he's come through here. True road racer, under braking, gets through there. I've raced with Wally Dallenbach a lot of times, guys. He's got a lot of experience in this racetrack and a lot of different cars, and you know, there's no question about it. He's bucking for a ride. He wants to be back in this Winston Cup circuit full time, and he'll do everything he can to win this race today.
He sure does.
On lap 56, Robert Presley would fall far off the pace, dealing with an intermittent transmission issue, leading to the first caution of the race. The leaders would pit once more. Unfortunately, a slow stop by Dallenbach's crew would relegate him to 8th place.
Wally Dallenbach in for a 4-tire change. Right side's going on first. Oh, and the tire hits the jacket. Starts to drop, but it didn't hurt. Now they're going around the other side. Jerry punches in Mark Martin's pit.
Gordon to the third car, then Marlin and Rudd. And here is Michael Waltrip. Now, let's go back up to John Kernan.
Shortly after going back green, an eventful lap 59 would include a crash involving Dick Trickle, Morgan Shepherd, and Derek Cope, simultaneous with Robert Presley's transmission giving up for good. Presley's stopped car would ultimately bring out the yellow. Many of the leaders would pit here over concerns they may not have enough fuel to make it to the end. Along with a stack-up leaving the pits, this would move Dallenbach up to third with a thinner contingent of contenders. He would have a great restart when the action resumed on lap 63, immediately passing Rudd and setting his sights on Gordon.
Okay, the green flag is coming out, and Rusty Wallace, let's see.
Staying out, isn't he? Let's see. Nope, he's
coming down pit road. He and Elton Sawyer both coming down pit road. So, boy,
That may already be gone, Bob.
And here come the leaders now off of corner number 11. And so Rusty will lose a lap. Jeff Gordon is the leader of the race, and Wally Dallenbach is second. He may be making a move on Jeff.
Wally steps out of line, then ducks back in behind the DuPont Chevrolet, chased by Ricky Rudd, Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte, and Darrell Waltrip, your top 6.
They're in single file formation. Let's go back to Rusty Wallace's situation.
He would take over the lead on lap 64.
It looks like we've got
the new leader, guys.
New leader is Wally Dallenbach.
Boy, he
How
is
about that?
driving his heart out here today. We'll see how it happens.
That's setting up, coming up, I think, out of 1. He's moved to the inside of the DuPont Chevrolet, and he's going to have a run up into the S's, or I guess that's headed toward me, actually, for the inner loop. And he outbrakes him, has the preferred line, and is going to come through the inner loop with a big lead.
So Wally Dallenbach makes the move going into the inner loop in the MBNA Pontiac.
Let us not forget, man, that he finished second here to Mark Martin in 1993. He started that race, and this is his 5th race here at the Glen. So this is by no means a surprise, but yet he is leading the rest of the veterans.
Did he test in this car up here, or did he do all this practicing yesterday and Friday and Saturday, or did he come up to Bill Davis and test his car? Does anyone know?
No, they did come up and test the car, Benny. So he knew what he wanted done to the car when...
Well, right now, he's running away with whatever he's got underneath there. He is just getting with it.
Unfortunately, not everything was going seamless. His onboard oil tank had developed a leak earlier in the event, and the exposure to fumes was making him increasingly sick in the car.
And there is the leader once again, Wally Dallenbach. He has a 2.7 second lead on Jeff Gordon and a 5.6 second lead on 5th place Bobby Labonte. John Kernan has a report.
Bobby Wally Dallenbach, the leader's pit with Chris Hussey as crew chief, and he's having some problems with some fumes coming in the car, Chris. How's Wally doing out there?
He's not doing very good right now, believe it or not. He's complaining of some oil tank fumes. The oil tank's right there beside of him in a road race car. And Wally hasn't driven in a while. I'm sure he'll become immune to that after a while. We may still have a problem with him, but he's gotten sick one time, and that's when he fell back a little earlier. But running up front's the best medicine he can get. And he said he's going to suck it up for this whole MBNA team and hopefully win this thing for us.
Well, we've seen him. He started to pull away, it looks like, from our vantage point on pit road. Let's go further down pit road to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, I spoke to Dallenbach just prior to the race on our NASCAR Today show, and he was telling us, today I really need to run well. This couldn't happen at a better time for me. He may possibly be getting ready to announce a Winston Cup team for next year. Early next week, he is going to meet with 2 different car owners, potential car owners. They're going to go visit some existing car owners and talk about forming their own team. So possibly next year, he'll run both the North American Touring Series on road courses as well as possibly a full season in Winston Cup.
Well, the best finish for this car that Dallenbach is driving today, and it had 3 different, this is the 3rd driver, Randy LaJoy and Jimmy Hensley. Its best finish this year was 12th at Bristol, so it's certainly on a record pace for this year. Now just 17 to go in the Bud at the Glen. Right now in command of this race is Wally Dallenbach. Wally Dallenbach has a substantial lead at the moment. Let's check into his pit and John Kernan.
But these guys, Bill Davis, Chris Hussey, they're watching that 6 car because they know that Mark Martin can fly around this track, and there's still plenty of time left. And, of course, we told you, Wally breathing the fumes, not feeling very well in that car. But fuel, they were a little bit close, but that caution allowed them to get their window where they can make it with about a half lap to a lap just there.
Oil on the track, presumably from Dale Earnhardt's wounded car, would bring out the third and final caution on lap 80. A hard-charging Mark Martin had made his way up to second, where he would line up for the lap 83 restart.
We'll have 8 more laps to go. Still Wally Dallenbach out front, but can he hold off the challenge of Mark Martin, who used to be his teammate? Remember in 93 when he finished second to Mark, he was driving as a teammate to Mark. Well, they're back at the same situation. They're not teammates, but they're running first and second now as the green comes out.
And Dallenbach leads the charge down into turn 1. Mark looks to the inside but falls back in line. Then it's Gordon, followed by Rudd, Terry Labonte, Gerald Waltrip, and Bobby Labonte. The race is on into turn 2. It's still Dallenbach. Now it should be single file till they get back to Dorsey and headed to the inner loop.
Boy, don't you love it when they do this. 8 laps to go, and they're going to get after it right now. Wally opening up a little bit of a lead on Mark. That's a pretty good lead as he got up the S's clean. Remember, the cars behind are in dirty air. They get a little bit of push to him. So Wally in command right now as he heads into the inner loop.
Now, Dorsey, you mentioned that thing has been smoking in your area. Dallenbach's car did at that time. You see any evidence?
Well, it's been smoking as he heads down where he is right now. As he heads down the hill around the outer loop. Now, right now it's clean. The car has no smoke that I can tell whatsoever.
Dallenbach would relinquish the lead to Martin with 6 laps remaining after having spent 21 circuits out front.
Down the straightaway and make a move on Dallenbach.
Nope, not this time. But he's moving in as they head into turn 1 in front of Bill Weber.
He's going to dive to the inside. This could be it. The fans on their feet, and Mark Martin recaptures the lead. Dallenbach falls into second. Gordon closes, tries the outside. Dallenbach looks to slam the door. Mark Martin, the pole sitter, looking to repeat as the race leader once again with 6 to go.
Wally held out wide there. He's going to try to do that inside pass, but he turned in too early, had to get out of the throttle, and almost fell back into the clutches of Jeff Gordon.
He would ultimately cross the line in second, 1.01 seconds behind Martin, who would score his second victory of the season and 16th of his career. True to his character, Martin would be very gracious towards Dallenbach in victory lane.
You had the feel for Wally Dallenbach. You've been there. He was your teammate one time. You know how much he needed to win or wanted to win, but hey, that's part of it.
Let me tell you something. I wanted Wally to win, but not at my expense. We're really glad to win, but I would have loved to have seen Wally win. I really would have. He drove a great race, and they had a good race car.
He would record 2 additional top 5 and 14 top 10 finishes before making his final career Cup Series start at Pocono in 2001, filling in for the injured Joe Nemechek. Following his retirement from full-time racing, he would become a popular commentator for NBC and TNT. Though Dallenbach would never cross the finish line first in NASCAR, his road racing acumen speaks for itself, having posted multiple victories in world-renowned events. Beating Mark Martin at Watkins Glen in the early 90s was a Herculean task, and he displayed a valiant effort in less-than-ideal circumstances. To this day, the motorsports community at large holds his road racing expertise in high regard.